Sups up everyone, welcome to another Tower of Fantasy video, and today I want to cover essentially two topics. One is pre-60, one is post-60, and kind of get rid of some of the confusions that I've been seeing in the comment section. I don't know where people get this, but I think it's mostly a knee-jerk reaction, so let's address it and get this out of the way before we even get any further, because if you guys don't get this out of your heads, it's just gonna be plain wrong. You are gonna be playing the game completely wrong. You're gonna be putting your focus in the wrong areas, which hence can hinder your progress, because you're gonna think, oh, I can't do this, that's not optimal because I don't have access to this type of content. Okay, so the first thing I need to correct is where CS really comes from. I think it's a mixture. Most people know, like, oh, weapons, right? Like character stars, these things. Look at this 6-star nemesis, 7,833. Of course, easy clap, of course, SSR matrices as well. Look at that. Wow, like, of course, you whale, you get CS. That's just the only way to get CS is by whaling. And I want to correct that because people, you guys have been severely misled by whoever told you that whaling is the only way to get CS. Now, with all three of these weapons plus my SSR matrix, all level 60, meaning that I, yes, am now level 60, and I leveled these weapons all up to their current maximum capacity. Even still, you guys can do the math yourself. 7,833 plus 6,898 plus 4,677. Now that is including all my SSR matrices. This number comes out to be 19,408. Now, if you guys look at my total CS, it's 40,860. What does that mean? It means that all this that you just saw, all these stars, all these levels, all these SSR matrices added together is not even half of my current CS. And for some of you guys to be like, oh, okay, so where's the other bit? It's gear. All right, gear makes up a huge chunk of your CS, and I'm not sitting here telling you that it's normal for a free-to-play to have all gold gear right now, but what I am telling you is a lot of you guys are severely neglecting your gear, and for the most part, I'm willing to bet you don't even know what type of gear you should be upgrading, what stats you should be prioritizing, how stats work, and how you can maximize the tiniest bit of power. For example, my crit, my volt attack, all this stuff, what is going on in the whole equipment sector. So I have a video talking about CS and how to boost it, which covers more in detail when it comes to how you can boost your equipment. Essentially, it's just advancements. All right, so you guys see the stars underneath my gear, that's called advancements. And why do some have stars and others I chose to not star them up at all? So they're essentially just naked legendary gear. Well, to put it simply, not all CS is equal. Just because somebody is 40,000 CS, it doesn't mean they're going to be doing as much damage as somebody who likely is like 38,000 CS, because guess what, if your rolls goes all into like frost resistance for whatever reason, right, or HP, you can be extremely tanky at very high CS, you 5-star all your gear and it all went to resistances, HP, and useless stats. I mean, not useless, but like defensive stats. You're not going to be able to carry yourself or even like other teammates through difficult content. Right now, Frontier Hard Mode is the most difficult content we have available, and it's probably the most efficient way to get legendary gear. However, as you guys start leveling up, if you use my leveling guide, I've made videos about all of this stuff. I talked about CS, I talked about leveling guide. If you guys just follow the tips I've provided in those videos, I can link them on screen, I can link them in the description. Follow those tips. You guys can get to 30,000 CS relatively easily. All right, you just gotta bite the bullet, advance a couple of gears. Yes, you lose out about 20% of the experience you put in, but trust me, in the future you're gonna get your hands on so many equipments. Today, as I'm level 60, I've been doing a little bit of joint ops, and equipments just start flowing through. All right, it's not the end of the world, but having that power, if you have, let's say, a belt piece, and let's say it has attack, it has crit rate, then in that scenario, it's not the worst option to advance at least 2 to 3 stars for it. Yeah, you're going to be losing out on 20% of the EXP, but in return, it's going to give you potentially some pretty good stats in return and boost your CS immensely. And trust me, don't underestimate just how much your gear can help you. A lot of people are like, oh, I have a bunch of purple gear, I'll never make it. And then they have all the purple gear sitting at 0 stars when they have a couple pieces that are actually pretty bomb. Like they have an attack and crit rate stat, or they have an attack and volt damage when they're running double volt. So what I'm saying is, people, there's definitely more ways to get more power. It's just you guys have to understand where the power is coming from. Yes, spending definitely does help, but look at how much I've spent, and it's not even half of what my gear is currently giving me. Now, if you guys are wanting Frontier hard mode carries, make sure to subscribe to this channel. Tune into my live streams on Wednesdays and Saturdays because I do schedule for Frontier hard mode carries. So if you guys want those 3-4 chest clears potentially, make sure to tune in, subscribe, and find me when I go live right here on YouTube. Anyways, with that said, let's talk about level 60, because once you hit level 60, and I'm talking about hitting level 60 and having high CS, it's completely separate issue. All right, you can hit level 60 pretty damn easily if you just follow my guide with the EXP guide that I released, I don't know, 2 days ago. Fairly easy, but the problem is when you hit level 60, what's going to happen? Because right now, I'm telling you guys, at 40,000 CS, unfortunately, I ran into I mean, everybody is running into this problem, is that in the wormhole this week, which this one unlocks at level 60, volt immunity. Well, what you gonna do about that, right? When the game throws you this kind of cuckery, there's nothing you can really do. If you are a Samir Nemesis player, you're pretty boned at this point, especially if you dump a lot of resource into them. Well, I guess if you don't have Frigg right now, it's just gonna be tough. I'm gonna be trying to clear this with 1-star Frigg, but hey, we'll see how it turns out. I don't think I'm gonna be clearing it really. Frigg Meryl, hopefully that works out. I'll maybe make a video about it. Okay, so when you're level 60 right now, wormhole does open up a new tier, and it's pretty sizable when it comes to being able to clear it and getting the rewards. However, the biggest thing for everybody is going to be the joint operations. Now, it doesn't really matter when you hit level 60, as long as you hit it within this week or maybe even next week. You're going to be able to take advantage of teaming up with some of the biggest whales you probably will ever see in your entire lives, because golly, I went in today just by myself testing this theory, and lo and behold, just ran into some giga whale who cared. I honestly didn't even need to do damage. I could have just kicked back, relaxed, and chilled. And you guys saw my account. I'm by no means like a small spender, but these people are just an entire different breed. So there is merit to reaching this stage early, because all the whales are going to be grinding. I've been saying this over and over. Take advantage of the whales' impatience, right? If you guys are playing this game, you're playing the game as much as you're playing the community within the game as well. Understand how whales think. If you are able to get to level 60 as soon as possible, especially for tomorrow, if you can hit level 60 tomorrow, you're going to be running this one. And let me tell you, gloves are a coveted piece of all legendary gears because it has base stats of attack and crit, and you can bet your booty cheeks that there are going to be whales who will be running this for like the entire freaking day. And if you can hop in here, King Matrix, Crow Matrix, or Pants is whatever, but these 3 pieces are extremely useful. And remember people, this is a team game. This is a game that promotes co-op activity. It doesn't hurt to thank the whale, maybe even try to add them as a friend and get them to help you with Frontier hard mode. There's no shame, and I'm telling you, no shame. Where is the shame in asking for help, right? These people spend money to do what? To lord it over you. Well, PvP is equalized, so what do they spend money for? Of course, to blow through content. If you need help, ask for help. In fact, I've had people reach out to me. It's like, hey Walrus, can you help me with Frontier hard mode? Can you help me with Frontier normal mode? Can you help me with joint ops, right? And I've always said yes, as long as I have time. I don't know where this mentality comes from, where like, oh, these whales like are killing the game, making it so unfair, like that we free-to-plays can't even compete. Compete with what? There's no competition here. Everything is beneficial. The more whales you run into, the more it helps you clear the content faster. Right now, I bet Frontier hard mode is a very big wall for most free-to-play, even small spenders. I think being able to clear 3 chests is already impressive. Beyond that, you're likely going to need at least 1, if not 2 whales on your team. But don't worry, as long as you continue putting in the grind, you're going to equalize that difference in the coming months, right? Of course, because if you're smart and been saving resources, you're saving for a strong character like Lin or Sakifua coming down the line, and you want to use all the resources you pull up to 6-star them, guess what? You're going to have power close to a whale, and you're going to have the same amount of vitality, at least daily, unless you somehow waste it to grind for gear. Yes, whales are going to spend for extra vitality, but the base amount remains the same. Spending vitality correctly is going to be the #1 step in keeping up with your CS and competition and difficulty growth, right? Going forward, you likely have to make a choice as to which weapons you want to continue leveling up. For example, look at this one, 11 nanofibers. It's not easy to come by, and yes, you're going to be spending a decent amount of vitality to obtain all this stuff. So making mistakes at this point of the game is going to be far more costly than, let's say, at level 10. I know there are people who are trying to level up multiple weapons, right? Like as you guys can see, I tried to level up a couple weapons here and I got a couple to level 100, but I couldn't continue pushing them the same way I've been pushing my main set of weapons. I could, if I wanted to spend more money, level them all up to 120, but at this point in time, I just don't think that is efficient, and I want to keep my resources well spent as to optimize my own experience when playing this game. Which finally leads me to this point, alright? It doesn't matter right now if you're level 60 or not level 60. You should be taking a look at your account and start prioritizing what you want to do with it. You're at the point in the game, for the most part, that you've experienced a couple different characters, you've tried different playstyles, you likely have seen YouTube videos, and maybe even talked to some people about what they think or what they're playing and what's soon to come. Especially with the artificial island coming in a little over a week's time, a lot of new content's gonna get added into the game, and right now would be the worst time to fall behind the curve. Hitting level 60 earlier than not is definitely going to benefit you, because leveling slows down quite a bit once you reach level 60, and the next big threshold I would say is level 70, and that's not going to happen for a little while. You can truly take your time, kick back, relax, and go easy on the game, especially for those who have been grinding non-stop. Congratulations, you've made it, and now good luck with the grind for joint ops, good luck with boss farming, and most importantly of all, good luck with your summons. Alright, check out some of my other videos if you still have questions. Leave a comment down below if you want me to make any videos, and until next time, I'll urge you all to stay safe and peace. Bye.